All right, so we're back at the house, and wow, let me explain this to you guys, what happened, or what is going on right now. So we started prepping the car, getting everything ready on it, and it's kind of been a last minute thing for us. Usually I try to get this stuff done beforehand. I hate being last minute on anything because it causes a lot of issues, and this one caused a lot of issues. So first off is we ordered front pads. I usually go through a set of pads every event, no big deal, it's not the normal, but I ordered pads in the beginning of, I want to say, not beginning, mid-June. Ordered pads mid-June. Ordered front pads and rear pads. They're still not here. So there's some delays and they're just not here. Well, the rear pads, you know, I thought I'll go ahead and order them. I might not need them. Well, yeah, let's look at this one. Yeah, we need them. So those are shot. I thought I was looking over here, and this is why you always want to double check yourself. I was looking over here on this one, and I was like, you know what? There's probably enough still in there for me to make it. And I started looking at that one a little closer. I was like, no, there really isn't. I'm running out of room with pad material. And I came over to this side, pulled the wheel off. I was like, yeah, no, that's not gonna fly. And it gets even better. So we go under the car, and then you see all this grease right here is coming from this brand new axle we put in. So the axle boot's sling grease, and on top of that, the control arm is loose. So this has been a kind of like an odd thing. Now we were having a little bit of issues at Road Atlanta on Sunday about midday about the car wanting to kind of track out left oddly, and we think this is why, because the camber adjustment changed mid-run, or maybe tweaked it just a little bit enough for me to notice it during heavy braking. So good thing we caught that. That's why it's always good to do pre-inspection on your car before you go to another track event and make sure everything's tip-top. So here's the cool thing. My parents are down in Georgia. They woke up super early this morning after finding out all this tragic news last night. We're like, where are we gonna get these pads at? There's nowhere around here in East Tennessee that has these style pads. There's a few people that have them, and I was fortunate enough to contact them. But for me, I mean, if it came down to last I had to get it, then I was gonna go with those pads. But for me, I wanted to make sure that I had the correct pad, correct set, something that I would be comfortable with, because we just got delivery on this car, and I really don't want to like shave down pads and go out there and then it not modulate correctly and then turn around to a wall, especially on Charlotte, as tight as Charlotte is. So that's the last thing I want to do. So my parents are down in Georgia right now at the Summit Racing distribution center, the little store that you can go in, and they're getting me pads. They got front pads, rear pads, and they're coming back right now. So big shout out to them. Could not do this without you. This is insane. Yesterday I was just like freaking out. I was having an anxiety attack just for the fact that we couldn't get the car moving. I was like, man, maybe it's not gonna be at the event. So what I gotta do now, we have new rotors. We need to get the rotors on. They're coming back with the pads. There's supposed to be pads being delivered today. So I'm gonna have all kinds of front pads delivered and get the front pads, mess with the control arm, new rotor. And then when they get here, slap the new pads in the rear, do the axle, get it on the trailer, and get to Charlotte today. That's what we're doing. So it's gonna be a wild ride, so stay tuned. Okay, so old rotors are off the hats. Now we need to go over here, get the new ones out, open these boys up, and then slap them on, and the rotors will be done. Good news, I got the pads and everything, so they're on their way back. Wheel hubs, everything else is good up here. So what we're gonna do is get the rotors on the hats, put them on here, clean up everything, double check everything. It seemed to be good, but just double check it just in case. All this right here is ready to go other than just pushing the pistons back in. And once we get the pistons pushed back in, all we gotta do is just wait on brake pads. But while we're waiting on that, actually, I do need to get the axle out, so I'll go ahead and disconnect some of this stuff back here and pop the axle out. And hopefully the new axle should be in town around 10:30, which is just a few minutes, so hopefully I'll get a call soon. Okay, so we got the hats on the rotors. Now we need to take them over here and throw them. Oh God. Oh, okay, there we go. That was bad. That did not sound good at all. Yep, throw them on that and we should be good to go up here other than the pads, but this is taken care of. This is good. Grab this one and then we will move over here. Throw this bad mama jamma on. Twist, twist, twist. Oh yeah, it's one nice feeling wheel bearing. Fantastic. Okay, so we have the front pads on this side and the other side, so this is good to go. Now all we gotta do is rip the rear end off. I'm just gonna do this side just for the event. I'm gonna take the other axle with me. Just pull this axle out since it's slinging grease. The other one looks fantastic, which is weird. They've only been through one event, so maybe it's just a manufacturer issue and it just failed. But we're gonna pull this one off, get the new one in, and then load the other one up in the trailer. And we should be good with the maintenance other than doing the control arm, which helps no issue at all. All I gotta do is make sure the alignment's good. We'll be off to the track. Okay, so we're back here at the axle itself. I've already knocked it out. It didn't take much at all, considering that this one's a brand new axle, just whoop, right out. So we got the lower control arm loosened, have a trailing arm loosened. So all we gotta do is I can literally move this whole assembly, pop it out down here, and then we'll just pry it out up there, and then we'll put the new one in and we'll be good. Yep, there it is. It is leaking all that fluid right out the hole in the boot, so that's fantastic. Like I said, I think it just started leaking too. We picked up the car Tuesday of this week and everything looks fresh, so I assume that on the way home it probably tore and it started leaking really bad, but thankfully we have our new one and we can just swap it up. Hopefully this goes good. I feel like the train kid, bro. So yeah, this should be good enough. And let me do this. Here's the cool thing about having quick jacks, and we'll say thank you to Mr. Landry Rogers. Best investment you've ever made. We'll get some height, so that way makes it easier to get underneath the car. There we go, and lock it down. Throw that back down there. And then let's go way back here and grab this first of all. Oh! Hopefully you guys can see this. Oh my goodness. Oh, she leaking. Yep, so right here, is the culprit. And that is, there's still a lot coming out of that and leaking down there. But I was underneath the car. Oh, I was underneath the car and I've seen all this thrown up right here, which I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there's a ton of grease just built up right here on the control arm. And then we've seen this right here, which was loose. And so we're gonna have to match it to probably this side. These things are pretty linear. Don't really have to tweak them too much. So we'll get this axle off and then we'll tighten up these control arms and make sure they're aligned, eyeball it, and we'll be good. I'm at a, oh God. Oh no, brother. Oh no. Oh, I need a bigger pry bar. Nasty. Well, I'll have to resort to, I'm not asking anymore, and try to pop it out. They're not too bad to get out, but they can be a little stubborn. Oh, there it is, just like that. Out it goes. Oh, God. Oh my goodness. Fortunately, everything on BRZs is super easy to work on, except for when you have camera equipment. So what I've done is take this rotor assembly on the upper control arm, just move it this way, and I kept hitting my GoPro right here on the top of the car. But this right here took the axle, straightened it up, tapped it in there with a hammer a few times, and now it's in. So gotta run this, get a little bit of some high grease lubricant on here, and then slide it back in here and hook everything back up. These are super easy to fix. They're just a pain because when they do fail, they get everywhere and they're so messy. But regardless of the point, we're almost done here. So we are going to climb back under here again, and we are just going to double check. Oh, then make sure that this axle is recessed in here. That would have sucked to have done two. Well, not really, but that's the last thing you want to do before you go on track, is replace two axles. This one, fortunately enough, looks good. There's no. Streets just get slung around here so fast, and you know, any little impact, open that thing up. Put this nut, the axle nut back on here. Get our impact up there. Go to okay, we got that one tightened up, and now we need to do this one, and it is a 17 on the outside, but a 19 on the inside. So I was loading up some drinks and stuff, and parents have arrived with the brake pads, thankfully. So now we can slap these on the car and go bed them in real quick, load up the car, and we'll be good. That's all we gotta do. Well, if you look and see, the garage is empty and the car is out there. So we've got it ready, we're good to go. All we gotta do is get it up on the trailer. It was a miracle that we even got any of this ready. It's been a haul for the past like 17 hours. We've been trying to get all the materials that we need to make sure that we can go to the track day this weekend. But we do, thankfully. Big shout out to my parents for going down and getting all the stuff. And shout out to Chevy and Marshall for getting stuff too, ready for the track. Now we just gotta load it up and head out. So excited to see everyone at Charlotte. It's gonna be a fun time, and it's gonna be good. I'm excited to see the car on track. It's such a photogenic track at Charlotte. It really is, especially with all the accents that Charlotte has, and this car is definitely gonna pop at it. So we'll see you guys very soon. Well, Cars loaded up. Now we're just getting some ice and stuff in the coolers. Get all of our clothes loaded up and we are good to go. We're gonna head out. Well, we have officially made it to the track. Wasn't too bad of a drive, but we are officially here.